Hi guys, EDMacDesigns here. Today we have a tutorial from a friend of mine, Digihill. Anthony will be doing a tutorial on Photoshop for those of you who like using Photoshop to enhance your photos. I'd appreciate it if you could check out his links. They are in the description. And yeah, enjoy.
Hi guys, my name is Anthony, or Digihill if you want to give me a look on Flickr. Right, basically what I'm going to do today is show you how to create a pen and wash style image in Photoshop. If you have a go with this yourself, then please feel free to upload them to my Facebook group, Photographer Universe. All links will be in the description at the end. I'd also like to thank Ethan, that's EDMacDesigns, for giving me the opportunity to conduct this tutorial. Okay. So I'm just going to drag my JPEG down here to Photoshop. Brilliant. Here we go. Ideally, you will have a photo of a building with a nice sky in the background. You can do pen and wash on people or landscapes, but personally, I prefer buildings. So here we go. First of all we need to do is duplicate the layer. So that's Control J or Command J if you're a Mac user. So as you can see now, on the right hand side, on the layer section, I have background and layer 1. So I really want layer 1 to be active. And we're just going to go to Filter, Stylize, and Glow in Edges. So at the moment it looks pretty funky, pretty much all over the place. But that's cool, that's how we want it. Okay, so here's the preset that I use. I use 3 for the edge width, 10 for the brightness, and 4 for the smoothness. You can experiment and use whatever you want, but I would suggest sticking with these presets at the moment. You want something that's going to be cutting through your image and really sticking out. So, okay, so we got that. Alright, so now we want to invert layer 1. So if you Control I or Command I. Fab. Now we're going to desaturate, so it's Shift Control U or Shift Command U. Okay, alright. So what we want to do now with layer 1 is just create an adjustment layer. So we go down to here. The adjustment layers, and levels. So levels is obviously going to be the amount of detail we can see in the image with just black and white. So again, you can use what you feel comfortable with, but for your first time I would recommend using 30 for the black. And you'll be able to see this take shape as I type the numbers in. 0.73 for the midpoint, and for white 218. Fab. Now we're starting to take almost a sketch effect. Okay, so let's go back to layer 1. What we want to do now is just change the blending mode, which is here. It'll be set to normal, and you want to put it to multiply. So we're still getting the colour from the background and the sketch effect from layer 1. Okay, so with the background layer, we're going to create an adjustment layer, and we're going to go to levels once again. Okay, ideally we won't want any black in this one, so where you can see black, just keep it at 0. For midpoint I'm going to use 2.08. Okay. And for the white, 196. So this is the sort of image we're really looking for. We need it to be a lot brighter than previously. Again, feel free to experiment, but if it's your first time, just use the settings I give you. Okay, so back to the background layer. Up to Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur. Right, and what you want is something between 8 and 15. I'm going to use about 10.6. You can use 14, 9, but nothing below 8 and nothing above 15. Okay. So what we want to do now, staying on the background layer, we want to go to adjustment, and we want, this time we're going to want saturation, which is here, hue saturation. Okay, saturation is basically going to boost the color of the background image. Again, feel free to experiment, but ideally you should use 40. Fab. So that's starting to take shape, starting to look a lot brighter. Okay. Right. Now create a new image. So it's Shift Control N or Shift Command N. We're just okay for that. Alright then. So what we really need for this is quite a large feathered brush. Okay. And the white colour in the swatch. Swatch is basically a palette. So if you just come down here, you can pick what colour. So we want white. So we're using feathered just to colour over. Let's get rid of the sky and any strenuous detail you might have. So any unwanted detail. Right, so the majority is gone. What we really want to do now, change our brush to a hard edge brush. You can play around with the size up here. Nothing too large because we don't want to get rid of any of the detail from the building. Just to go around the edges, making sure we're getting rid of this unwanted detail. Okay, so it's starting to take shape. Ideally, if you are using a picture of the sky, you should have a nice big white selection where your sky once was. Okay, so that's cleaned up. Going on to the next step, we're going to create another new layer. Okay, make sure this is kept on the top. Right, what we want to do on the left hand side is just select the rectangular marquee tool and make a selection like so in your image. But what you want to do is select at your swatch here a nice sky blue colour and white. So I've got sky blue and white. I'm just simply going to go up to Filter, Render, Clouds. Brilliant. And then while you're still on the marquee tool, just select anywhere over here and it's gone. Okay, so now we're going to use this and free transform. What I usually do is just stick the selection up in the corner and you're going to Control T or Command T. And you should have these adjustable boxes going around the image just to be able to change the size. And drag it down so it covers the building only to the point, if you look here, you can't see the sky anymore. Okay, so that's fine. So we've covered the whole sky. Okay, so what we need to do, blending mode once again from normal, and this time we're going to set it to darken. Alright, so we can still see the building. We've also got a nice sky, but obviously the sky is overlapping the building. So what we want to do now is the eraser. Okay, so for this I would use a hard edge brush. Let's get a decent size. Yeah, that should be fine. Again, you don't want to lose too much detail in the sky and have white blotchy edges going around the building. Obviously you guys will probably take a little bit more time in doing it than I am. Okay. Make sure when you are erasing the sky from the building to do in little selections, like so. Don't try and do a rush job and just go like this and take out too much of the sky. what we got then are these white blotches, so we're going to have to Shift Alt Z. Okay, just Alt Command and Z for Mac, and Alt Control and Z for Windows. Alright, so remember, doing it in little sections. Let's get the majority away from here. Alright, that's taking shape. And be really careful around the edges. See, I've created a little white blotch, but again, Control Command Z, and back. And I am going to do the majority of it over again because I'm doing little sections at a time. But like I said, you guys will probably take more time in doing this than I am. So just to quickly show you. Alright. I mean, by now you should be able to see that your image is starting to take a lot of shape. And it's starting to look quite vintage, like a good old pen and wash painting. Alright. Okay. Job done. Okay, so what we're going to do now, set your background, right click on your background, and we're going to flatten the image, which is going to merge everything together. So we've got a nice flat image. Okay, so go to select, select all, and you should see the lines going around the whole picture. What we're going to do then is go to edit and stroke. Okay, depending on the size of the actual photograph you're using, I would just experiment with the pixel size. Ideally you want the colour to be white, but you can use cream or grey, nothing too in your face like red or green. And we want the location to be in the centre. The blending mode's going to be normal, and the opacity is going to be 100%. So let's give that a go. Superb. Okay, to finish the image off, get a feathered brush. Actually, what you want really is a feathered eraser. I would suggest using 300. I mean, like I said, depending on the size of the image, you may need a larger brush, you may need a smaller brush. But you don't want to be rubbing out too much of the image, and just go along like this. Try and keep in a straight line as much as you can. Doesn't matter if it's not perfect. Like so. What we really want to eliminate is the hard lined edge. So we've got a nice feathered image overall. Okay, there it goes. Around here. Just gonna do this quickly. You guys may want to spend a little bit more time than me. Fab. Okay, and that's your finished result. It's a pen and wash style image. Like I said, you can upload the final results if you want to give it a go yourself. The Photographer Universe Facebook page. The link will be in the description. So I'm just going to save mine. It's a JPEG. I'm going to call it Plaza Pen. Okay. All right. Here it is. Finished result. Brilliant. Once again, guys, I'd like to thank Ethan, that's EDMacDesigns, for giving me the opportunity to conduct this Photoshop tutorial, and I hope I can provide many more in the near future. And I'm looking forward to teaching you guys something new once again. So from me, ta-da.